Hello everyone, Dino Kel Films here, and today I have another video for you all, and I'm going to be going through my dinosaur toy collection, basically. This excludes almost everything Mattel related, and I have a few like other Imaginext dinosaurs and whatnot just in storage somewhere, but I just kind of wanted to go through like my main box of dinosaurs. These are mainly dinosaur figurines from my childhood, which I shared with my brothers, but I included a few others. That I have some other sort of memories about. So this video will probably be a little bit long, but I kind of just wanted to do this again as sort of a celebration of 10 years on this channel, in turn celebration to 30 years of Jurassic Park, and just a nice little thing that I wanted to do for a while. I think the last time I did this was back in 2017, so it's been about 6 years. Let's start with some of the figures that you may have already seen from previous videos. Here is the Hasbro Indominus Rex. This is one of the first Jurassic World dinosaurs from the Hasbro line that I received. I got this on my 12th birthday, and I really wanted this guy because of just how big and massive he was. Of course, he hasn't stood the test of time in both just quality. There's a little bit of paint smear and tear on the rubber, and it's a little yellowed, and even the plastic is kind of yellowed a little bit. But this is still a very nice figure. Obviously the Mattel Indominus Rex figures are superior in many aspects, but I still like this one, and we'll hold on to it for as long as I exist. Here is the Thrash and Throw Tyrannosaurus Rex. This was basically the first 2018 Mattel Jurassic World figure that I saw. I really like this T-Rex still, even after the many others that we've received over the years. Still really like this figure after all the other Mattel T-Rexes that I've released. It holds a special place in my heart, but no, I have an extra one because I really like this figure, and it reminds me of just all the sort of highlights that Mattel brought us with its first release of the line, and just sort of all the anticipation and hype surrounding Mattel's acquisition of the Jurassic World toy license. So very nostalgic toy. Here is the Animal Planet Brachiosaurus, I believe it is. It's definitely weird looking. Let me see if I can find its name on the bottom. Sorry, Brachiosaurus. Not a species I've heard of until I received this figure. I got this from Toys R Us many years ago. It's entirely rubbery, so I really like that aspect. Not really like Kenner rubber comparable. Not really comparable to It's not really comparable to the Kenner's rubber, but it's definitely got some like weight to it, and it's definitely like a nice material, and it's stood the test of time pretty well. I used to use it as a Diplodocus all the time because that's what it kind of reminded me of. But yeah, I really like this one, and I think it's pretty cute looking too. A lot of these there's some in here that I don't know too well. This was from the dollar store. It's just this little fuzzy friends, I guess it's an Apatosaurus with this little tail. It's very cute. I think I got this for Easter one year. Here we have, oh my god, this is a bootleg Papo Running Rex. Very iconic figurine. But it also came with this little baby. These were at Walgreens, and I remember receiving these as a gift. And yeah, they're definitely weird looking, but I still like them a lot. Definitely some newer acquisitions. It's gonna be dumping these things on the ground over here. Here's a what company is this? This is a K&M Iguanodon. Kind of reminds me of Walking with Dinosaurs, but not really. It's very, very big, very, very funny looking. I do like this guy though. It's got some nice paintwork, and the sculpt detail is actually pretty good too. Don't know if it'll come up on camera, but I really like this guy. Okay, this is a weird one. This is a Walgreens T-Rex. I believe my brother found this at a thrift store. Let's see if it still works. Oh god, ooh. The mechanism is not gonna stand the test of time well, to say the least. Have it set to off and it still works. But at least this thing has some rubbery mechanism to it. I think that it's supposed to move, chomp and whatnot, but I think the mechanism broke. But this was found at a thrift store, and it's kind of weird, kind of big. The arms are very cheap. Plastic's really cheap. It's all really cheap. But it's still like an interesting, like retro-ish 90s T-Rex that isn't Jurassic Park per se. Also very cool is, the Tyrannosaurus attached to it. This is the Imaginex chomping T-Rex. I believe this is from like 2006 or something. 2004, jeez. This, I think we found at a thrift store as well. Not too recently, but like maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. Relatively new to the collection. But I really liked this Tyrannosaurus and never got it as a child, so I'm really happy to have it. I don't know if the electronics work. We never tested out the batteries. But I really love this thing. It's got a nice chomping feature, and its colors are very nostalgic and iconic. So here is a very Chinosaur Diplodocus or Apatosaurus. With its neck sort of back in that iconic posture that dinosaurs are often depicted in. Obviously just a big hunk of plastic. Here is a Stegosaurus. I believe it was only $1 apparently. So that's a pretty nice price. I believe this is sold at Target relatively recently. I received this for Easter. Oh, here's a K&M Diplodocus. This has some very nice detailing. And I really like those colors. Face is a little funny, I will say. But I really like him. And his colors are very nice too. Here is a Dimetrodon. This was sold at the dollar store. This little fellow is sold at the dollar store. He's pretty cute looking. He actually looks kind of mammalian, but also very reptile-like too. So, very interesting little guy. This, and there is a few others part of this toy line somewhere in here. But these little guys, these very cheaply made dinosaurs are from this toy line that in this like random bin of dinos, I think. And I really like these guys because these were at my grandpa's house. These guys were at my grandpa's house, and I think they were just kind of interesting. Obviously nothing like too amazing, but you know, I like to say this is an Acrocanthosaurus and not a Tyrannosaurus. So it does have a like an osteoderm sail going on, which is kind of interesting. It's a weird osteoderm sail going on, which I really liked. Here's just a random Brachiosaurus. I think I found this at a thrift store. He looks a little weird. Oh, these are gonna look really weird. What am I saying? He's just a Brachiosaurus. Here's a cool one. I like this little Parasaurolophus. Reminds me of just a nice 90s aesthetic Parasaurolophus. Nothing like too spectacular going on, but I like the eye color and just the overall stance. It's quadrupedal. Usually when you get a Parasaurolophus, just like this Dollar General one, they're usually in the, biped stature, which is fine, but I kind of prefer having some, you know, variety, and I really like this quadrupedal one. So I'm gonna put these guys over here. Here's my childhood Dimetrodon that I shared with my brothers. Very, hold on. Very similar to this guy, because I believe these are made by the same sort of company. Very similar to this little fella that we looked at. I believe they're by the same company. They both were like dollar store sort of offerings. This was, you know, a couple years ago, and this is now. So I guess you can see sort of a difference in the sculpt quality and the size, of course. But no, I really like these guys. This one's definitely more reptilian, however. Here's a thrift store Styracosaurus I found. I believe it's a bootleg of the Chapman Styracosaurus, and it's got a broken nose horn. Here we have a Brachiosaurus I found at a thrift store. His tail is broken, I believe. Yep. Now, this is one of many of the dinosaurs in this sort of toy line. They all have little squeaking. They all have little squeakers on the inside, which is very interesting. It's almost like they're dog toys, but they're definitely not. At least I think they're not. But I got my brother and I got a whole box of these guys at a garage sale, and I think they're just very nicely colored, bright colored. You know, Chinosaurs. I guess, is supposed to be the Pachycephalosaurus. But there's many more where this came from. In fact, I think this is the Dimetrodon from this particular assortment. I don't know if the squeaker on this one works. No, it doesn't anymore. But this one had nicer colors than the previous, I think. So get ready for a lot of these guys. Here's a Tarbosaurus. No, this is not from that. I got this at a thrift store. Actually, I guess this is a Tyrannosaurus. But there's actually two Tyrannosaurs, a part of this weird model, whatnot. But no, I really like the colors on this one. Here is a Dollar Tree Stegosaurus. Very, very small, very cute. Obviously, tail dragging. But obviously it's just a very retro Stegosaurus. Here is I believe this is, it says it's Styracosaurus, but I don't think that's true. Looks more like just a Triceratops in general. I really like this one. Obviously a very metal looking. If it's red eye and black skin coloration, just looks like a evil demonic dinosaur. I think that's probably what they're going for. I don't know. Or maybe Sarah's dad from Land Before Time. But no, I really like this one too. Here's another weird mini Brachiosaurus. Not a whole lot going on here. Oh God. This one, however, is this nightmarish Triceratops. I have no idea what's happening here. It's got some color to it, but it's obviously like part carnivorous, which is just kind of cursed. I don't know why it has that mouth, but yeah, this thing's a nightmare creature. I really liked it. I think I got it at a thrift store as well. Oh, this is a nice one. Received this at a thrift store. I love the sculpt on this guy. It's very just retro 80s Tyrannosaurus Rex, and I just love I don't know, it just resonates with me. This is sort of like the basic dollar store version, and here's that same figurine, but sort of the one with the squeaker. This one's very hard to squeeze though. This one actually has its poor little arm nommed on. I don't know if I can kind of see it there. It's missing its fingers on its right arm. But yeah, these two I really just love that sculpt. It's just so like retro. It just I don't know why I like it so much, but it's very nostalgic to me. But yeah, so squeaker and non-squeaker versions of the same sculpt. Here's a Plesiosaurus. I got like a prize counter at I forgot what this was. Maybe it was a local pizza place that recently closed down by me. Can't remember exactly, but I remember seeing this and I was like, oh my gosh, please, we need a marine reptile. We didn't have any like large scale or medium scale marine reptile, so we got this Plesiosaurus, which I really, really love. Here's Grimlock from the film Transformers Age of Extinction, Part 4, by Michael Bay. This is, I don't know what figure exactly this is. I'm not like too into Transformers or the toys. Oh god. But no, this thing can transform. Don't exactly know how to do that though. But very basic. I can probably figure this out. But he came with an Optimus Prime that was the same size, so it's kind of cursed. But no, I've had this thing for a while. We've had this thing for a while. Here is this Tyrannosaurus. They came with this, I believe it was like a dinosaur tub. It's very much inspired Jurassic World. It's just like a Jurassic World T-Rex. But it's not like based on any particular like Mattel figure or anything. It just looks like the Jurassic World style Tyrannosaurus. That's pretty good plastic. No like coloration at all. Maybe like slightly dark brown paint on the top, but other than that, no, it's just T-Rex. I almost want to repaint this guy, but I think I will not for the time being. Maybe I'll use it in another episode of the bootlegs and dinosaurs. Now, this is a cool one. This is the Walking with Dinosaurs tour Brachiosaurus. This is what they sold like at sort of the counter after you watch the show with the animatronics. He's very cool looking. I like his colors. His eye is a little spooky. It's like a very slight dark green. Might be able to see it, but it just looks kind of soulless. It's definitely a very weird Brachiosaurus, but I really like it. Let's see. It just says Brachiosaurus made in China. But no, this was sold at the live show. It doesn't really look like Walking with Dinosaurs per se, but it was just, it's a pretty hefty statue. It was very nice to have. This is a Stegosaurus I received for Valentine's Day many years ago. I really like the colors on this, and it kind of reminds me of Walking with Dinosaurs. It just says Stegosaurus 2000 made in China, so yeah, I really like it though. I really like its colors. Here's this. Oh god. Here's this little fella. I forgot how I got this guy. I think it might have been a garage sale, or this other. I think this was at was in a claw machine at a place that I used to go to, this local pizza place. But this little, I guess, Brontosaurus with, spikes on its tail. It's rather cute, and I like it a lot. He's a nice little fella. Here we have this raptor. I forgot what company this was. Geo World, the Velociraptor. 1/15th scale, I guess. So he's a little big. But I found this at Goodwill, and his legs actually broken and was sort of taped together when I found it. But no, I saw this guy and I was like, ooh, it has some feathers. I believe I got this in around 2018. But no, I really like this guy. It's obviously not very accurate, but I still like sort of the colors that it has. Here's the Ceratosaurus that went with that Acrocanthosaurus we saw earlier, the one that was at my grandpa's house. Here's this guy. I won in a lottery or a raffle, sorry. At in my 3rd grade class. This is a Tyrannosaurus from an Animal Planet line. This sculpt has been repainted and painted to high heck. But no, I believe I have 2 of these now because I found another one at a thrift store. But I used to call this an Albertosaurus because it was smaller than most of the Tyrannosaurus figures that I showed previously. Obviously not very accurate to any of those, but also another very edgy metal dinosaur, red eyes, black scales, the whole 9 yards with the evil dragon aesthetic. Here's Animal Planet's Brachiosaurus. Actually, well, Chapmay technically. It's had like rope around it for the saddle here, but I removed that because as a small child I really wanted to remove this piece here, because I didn't like dinosaurs being sort of rode upon by humans. So I really just wanted to take all the parts off, but I had to leave this on, I'm afraid, because there's actually, I don't think there's any back to this guy. But this is Chapmay's Brachiosaurus. Very apatosaur-like body, actually. But I really like the colors, and this was the largest Brachiosaurus figurine that my brothers and I had for an extended period of time until the Mattel's Jurassic World Dino Rivals Brachiosaurus released, and we acquired that. This guy is very small in comparison, to say the least, but I really like this guy. Here's another one of those dollar store dinosaurs. This is the Brachiosaurus. He's pretty nice looking, very retrosaur. But there is I'm going to save this one because I'm going to compare it to the Stegosaur. I'm going to compare it to the Brachiosaur that I acquired when I was younger. Here's the Stegosaur, a part of those few fellows that we looked at before, and here's its newer dollar store equivalent. Obviously a lot smaller, but same sort of color scheme, paint scheme, but obviously this one's a lot larger and a lot more just retro, even more retrosaur looking, which I love. Oh, here is, oh my god, there's quite a few of these guys. These are Velociraptors, I believe. But I always called them like Utah Raptors. And this one Deinonychus for some reason, because they're all very big. But no, there's a few different colorations here. These two come with squeakers, and have just slightly different colorations from each other. But I really like these fellas a lot. Then we have these two, which don't have squeakers, but they're slightly different colors. This one has more of a reddish brown, and this one's more muted in coloration. Probably just defects, or maybe variation based on like the time they were made. But no, I really like these guys a lot. They're a little large, of course. They kind of remind me of like the Hasbro Jurassic World Raptors, but they're still really fun. Here's an Animal Planet tub Brachiosaurus. I received the tub with a few other dinosaurs, like this Antonia. This came in there. It was just a very nice tub that I received on like my 8th birthday, I believe. Some person brought it to me at Bounce Town. I was blown away by just the fact that there was multiple dinosaurs that came in a set together. They came with like They came with like volcanoes and trees and stuff, and I was just like, wow, this is amazing. So yeah, I really like these guys. I'm gonna say that about almost every single dinosaur in here. Oh, here we have some plushies. This was a plush Tyrannosaurus I received from a high school friend. I believe on like Christmas or something. He's very cute. I really like him. He's a little baby. As I throw him. This guy I received, I believe, on a holiday. This is another very fuzzy Tyrannosaurus. And then a little more scary. I believe I got this on Easter one year. I had a lot longer than the others I just showed. This is another Tyrannosaurus. I really, really like it. What does it say? Douglas? Maybe I got this at the zoo. This feels like a zoo premium plushie. But I really like its glass eye. And the scale work is pretty fun too. My brother has a Triceratops somewhere. I have no idea if it's in here. I don't think it is, but really like this fella. Plushes do not stop there, however. We have this little beanie, teeny ties, Triceratops. Let's see if this one has a name. Landon. And his birthday is March 14th, so happy belated birthday. But I received this. This is from 2018. I forgot how I received this, though. But he's absolutely adorable. Oh, here we go. Here is Baryonyx Allosaurus. Doesn't really look like Allosaurus, but has this thrashing hand sort of movement action feature. And some articulation at the head and the jaw, and the legs have 2 points of articulation too. Oh, and the tail has 2 pieces of articulation. Oh, I do not want to break that tail. That joint doesn't move anymore. But yes, I believe this is also 2004. I would not be shocked. Let me see if I can find it. Weird. No date. Can't find the date on this thing, but this is definitely Baryonyx. And definitely kind of spooky looking. I like this guy. I like the colorations, the purples and oranges and yellows. Definitely matches with its Tyrannosaur counterpart. Here's 2 more Walmart bootlegs, just like those B-Rexes. These are Carnotaurus. This is the Schleich Carnotaurus, if I'm not mistaken. So, very shameless. But it comes with a little baby, and this was like the first large Carnotaurus figurine that I received, and I was happy to sort of have a Carnotaurus. Dinosaurs just gonna pile up. This is the Tyrannosaurus that came with a Animal Planet dinosaur tub. Both sides of the face look entirely different for some reason. Like this side looks like this, and then the other side looks like that. So when they look at you, it looks a little wonky. It's just the eye placement and the sort of sculpt work is like entirely different, which is just weird. But still kind of cool. Very nostalgic Tyrannosaurus to me. Don't know what this one is. I'm gonna be honest. I believe this was acquired at a thrift store. It is, I guess, a Tyrannosaurus, but I can't tell you too much about this one. There's gonna be quite a few like that. Velociraptor, of course. Believe this was also like a random thrift store acquisition, but I really like this coloration and the posture. Very Jurassic Park inspired, but I really like it though. It's made out of an interesting material too. Oh god, here is a mighty Megasaur Tyrannosaurus. We looked at the raptor in the bootlegs video, but same mechanism where if you pull down this arm, if this had batteries, it would make a Tyrannosaurus Rex Jurassic Park sound, which is fitting for the T-Rex, but for the raptor, no. But this is the exact same company, and it's kind of a strange one, but it's got articulation and stuff, so kind of cool. I believe I got this at a thrift store as well. It's going to be a common trend. Garage sales and thrift stores for almost all of this. Okay, here's the Brachiosaurus. Childhood Brachiosaurus from the dollar store or Walmart or whatnot. Here's its new counterpart, a lot smaller. They all have like the same coloration though, which I think is kind of cool. So they can kind of work as like juveniles-ish. But no, these guys do go well together, but of course I prefer this one. Obviously more nostalgic for this one too. Interesting is that the nostril placement is inaccurate on this one, or it's on, the top of the head, while here they move the nostrils down to its proper place on the end of the snout, which is just so bizarre. So according to that, the adults do not breathe properly. Here's the T-Rex, again, part of that same sort of line of Dinosaurs from the dollar store. This one is just entirely gray. I believe there's, yeah, here it is. There's 2 of them. One I received at Walmart with my brothers. I think it might be this one. This one has more wear and tear on it. This one I received at a thrift store in sort of like a bag with the more colorful variant. This one, I believe, is the one my brothers and I had as a child, and this is the one we acquired at a thrift store. And of course, here's the more colorful version. Sort of compare. But I like all of them. Just 3 of the same. T-Rex, Tarbosaurus. This is a weird one. I got this Brachiosaurus at a like indoor garage sale, sort of toy show of some kind. It was just alone in a bin with a React Attack Jurassic Park 3 Spinosaurus. And I believe, yeah, its neck is a little broken. But I really like the sculpt on this one. Just another solid figurine. And has someone's writing on it. But, you know, it's kind of cool. This was part of a like paint kit, I believe, and it's a Tyrannosaurus, and this is the one I painted. It came with a Stegosaurus that my brother painted, but I don't know where that one is. This I don't know exactly what paint scheme I was going for here, but it's kind of interesting, I suppose. But obviously the paint is chipped off and worn away, and also I don't think I painted it too well to begin with. So, and he's looks like he's had quite the dinner. So we're gonna put him over here. Here's another Tyrannosaurus I can tell you absolutely nothing about other than thrift store. Here's a Stegosaurus that shares the same sculpt as the one we looked at earlier. Same sculpt and everything. Just like a nice different coloration. Let's see. Still says 2000 Stegosaurus. Same mold entirely. Here on the bottom. So, but I really like these 2. And there's actually a third of this Stegosaurus somewhere in here that we will definitely find. Here is, I believe this is Pinacosaurus. I think in every other video I've made on this collection, I've called it Eupocephalus or eucalyptus because I didn't know how to pronounce it. But this is Pinacosaurus. There is a larger version of this too that I had, you know, as a child. This I just probably picked up at a thrift store or got in a thrift store bag. Being a thrift store bag, these are very old, like 1980s retrosaurs and prehistoric mammals. They've all just kind of been kept in here because I don't want to lose any of them, and I honestly should probably put them in a safer storage. But yeah, they're weird. They're very solid colors. Just gonna say that. All right, here we go. We have the Chinosaur, Parasaurolophus. I really like this one. And of course there is one with the squeaker, but it actually has like a slightly different sculpt. Like this one's sort of facing towards, right. And this one's just sort of facing forward. But I really like the colors on this squeaker version. And then another dollar store line that exists was these sort of super cheapy versions of the older sculpts. They're not just like smaller versions like the others. This one is just made out of like a cheaper plastic. Well, these are sort of like this more dense rubbery material that if you threw this at a wall, it feels like it would, you know, survive the wear and tear of children. This one, I feel like not so much. I actually repainted one of these. I have to find that somewhere. But no, these are very nice Parasaurolophus, of course, all bipeds, but I still really like all of them. Here's this thing. It's really red on camera, but it's this hot pink, like just very, very 80s Tyrannosaurus Rex. Oh my gosh, I kind of love this thing. I when I acquired this from a thrift store like 5 years ago, I would kind of just make this as like a statue because it's what it kind of looks like. It's just like this withering statue that's been weathered away by time. I really like this. Just the aesthetic of the figure and sort of all the imperfections that are all over it and all the like the white of the original plastic and the black. It's just really cool to me. Here's a interesting Tyrannosaurus I acquired at a thrift store. Sort of taking from one of the older sculpts that we looked at, except it kind of made it a little worse looking. This was advertised on the Animal Planet tub that I mentioned a few times, but this wasn't the T-Rex it came with. It came with that other brown Tyrannosaurus we saw earlier. Here's a few figurines from this line. Maybe this is all of them? I think this is all of them. No, where'd he go? There he is. These all are from the same company. I don't know what company it is. These four, I received. Oh, is this Euoplocephalus also part of it? All of these dinosaurs here are part of the same sort of company and brand. The Euoplocephalus here definitely stands out because it looks nothing like the others, but based on its bottom, it's from the same company, or at least similar company. These five, oh my god, I can't count. Six. These six we received in a thrift store, or sorry, Jesus Christ. These six we acquired in a sort of thrift store garage sale box. And then this one I acquired much later at like a garage sale or thrift store of some kind. In like a bag. I believe it was a thrift store. These were garage sale. Oh. They're all like really like cool. I really like their like aesthetic. This is the Velociraptor, which is very large. Here's a Brachiosaurus, which I think is really cute. The Spinosaurus, very like 80s Spinosaurus, short snout, megalosaur, very interesting. Here's the Parasaurolophus. I love this Parasaurolophus. It is beautiful. The colors are immaculate. Then here's the Stegosaurus. This is the Tyrannosaurus, but I always called this a Giga for some reason. It does have two fingers, vaguely. This is definitely a Tyrannosaurus. And then this Euoplocephalus, which sort of stands out, but based on like the material and like the texture of the toy and the bottom, it is by the same company. It might be a lot later though. So, but yeah, these are very interesting. Here's a Brontosaurus from Animal Planet. From the Animal Planet tub. There's like 4 or 5 of these in here. There's one of them now. So many of these for some reason. Here's a Triceratops that I received at a thrift store. Can't really tell you much about this one. Here's a mini T-Rex that definitely just looks plucked straight out of like Jurassic World, which is very uncanny and weird. But this came in a dinosaur tub with that other bootleg. Oh my god. Here is Spinosaurus, which definitely steals some sculpt ideas from, gosh, I forgot the name of the modeler. But he made dinosaurs that looked like this. And the Spinosaurus, this is it, just shrunken down and sculpted weirdly. Rest in peace to the artist, because I do know that they passed away. but the models are still very iconic and are definitely still used a lot, as you can see here in this 2018 bootleg Walmart Spinosaurus. Here's a mini Parasaurolophus that went with that Ceratosaurus and Acrocanthosaurus, made out of that same cheapy material. Here's a very, very cool Brontosaurus. There is a lot of figurines in this line of dinosaurs, which we'll go through throughout this video, but most of them are characterized by yellow eyes. Let me just see if I can grab some of these from the top. I got these in a box from a garage sale. All of these guys just in a little vial. Here's the Parasaurolophus, the Iguanodon, here's some Velociraptors, here's a Pachycephalosaurus. Yeah, there's just a lot of dinosaurs in this particular line. We'll definitely find more of them. Like, here's the Coelophysis, same line, but these all sort of go together. They're all sort of retro 90s dinosaurs, and I really like them. Another Triceratops, thrift store, same sculpt as that other one down there. Here's the Tyrannosaurus that belongs to those raptors. This is probably my least favorite out of all of them, so it just looks really awkward. Here's a mini Brachiosaurus, kind of reminds me of Jurassic Park, just a little bit, to say the least. Oh my god, this is a nightmarish Stegosaurus, one row of plates, carnivorous alligator-like mouth, no phagomizers. Yeah, this is, oh, ugh. Don't know what's happening here. I guess you think you finger puppet, but I would not put this on my finger personally. Here's a cute little guy. This is a sitting Brontosaurus, or Apatosaurus. I believe there's a few of these. I acquired these guys at a thrift store as well. Not exactly part of, this is one of the examples of something that's not exactly part of my childhood, but it kind of takes me back anyways, because of just like the material that the toy's made out of and sort of how it looks too. We got another squeaker. We have the another squeaker here. This is the Apatosaurus, I believe, and he's rearing up, which I think is kind of cool, because diplodocids most likely were able to do this. Macronarians like Brachiosaurus, however, not so much. Here's Dinosaur Dilophosaurus. I believe there's quite a few of this particular one here. Sorry, I noticed the squeaker version of him, which is this nice purple with red eyes and yellow and black coloration. It's a lot of the same, just sort of, you know, one squeaks and one doesn't. One has a lot more colors, and one is more basic. The basic ones seem to have more refined sculpt details, however. So that's what gives them a little bit of an edge. But no, I really like all these guys. Some of my favorite dinosaurs from when I was a wee lad. Here's the remote to a massive creature. And here is said massive creature, the Roboraptor. I believe I received this one at a garage sale, maybe. Yeah, my brothers and I have two of these. This is a newer one that we acquired. But no, they were selling it for like $10, and I was like, okay, sure. And we picked it up, and now it's just taking up a ton of space. I can't really do anything with it, so it's just been sort of sitting around. But this one actually still works. This is weird. This is a blue Tyrannosaurus I received at a thrift store. It looks sort of like that baby V-Rex bootleg. I believe it's the same sculpt, so I'm just gonna throw him over there. Can't really say much about him. Here's iconic, just like Giganotosaurus from like 2008, I believe. Let's see, '09. Sorry, but this is a massive inspiration for a lot of stolen art. I've seen this this model in so many random paleo art whatnots. It's hilarious. But yeah, that's the Giga. Very, I don't want to say boring colors, but I don't know. Never really liked this one too much. Here's a gray Tyrannosaurus. This is a very fuzzy Pteranodon that was part of some pajamas. If you bought the pajamas, you bought this little Pteranodon too, and he's definitely something. I really, really, really wanted the pajamas just so I can, have this guy. But he's he's a Pteranodon. Very 80s feathery Pteranodon, just kind of funny. Speaking of feathery Pteranodons, here is absolute military unit of all these lovely fellas. There's probably like 2 or 3 more of them in here, but these ones have like very distinct feathers rather than the Picmo fibers or pseudo hairs. These I acquired through garage sales, and then there was one time where there was a pack of these dinosaurs at like Target or something, and there's a whole line to these guys as well, like a whole sort of subline of random, like they're very cheapy, weird dinosaurs, and you feel like if you were to crush these with your hands, they would shatter. I don't know what this is, but this is a Tyrannosaurus I received in a garage sale as well many years ago. Childhood classic for me. If you press this button, he chomps. And there's another one in here that I received many years later that's brown, so I don't know what this is from. Someone can tell me what any of these dinosaurs that I don't know of and what they are, then I'd greatly appreciate it. But really like this Tyrannosaurus as a small child. Here's one, I believe I got this from one of my grandparents. This was just like a random dinosaur pack that came with like humans and cheapy dinosaurs, and this was the big bad Tyrannosaurus that came with it. If you press this button, it used to make Godzilla roars and the eyes would strobe, but I'm kind of glad it doesn't do that anymore. Holy bullet holes. I know this thing is very weird. Don't really remember playing with this one too much. I think I didn't really care too much for it, but it's pretty dense. It's got some, at least parts of it have, some quality material, but it's just a, cheapy Tyrannosaurus. Now, this little fella, this guy, I guess came with this Tyrannosaurus, but I never actually received this guy when I acquired this, so I got this in like probably a thrift store bag many years later, but I think he's pretty cute. He's a pretty cute little baby Tyrannosaur. This is a bat, Halloween decoration. I don't know what this is doing in here, but I think I used to use it as a Pteranodon. Here's another one of those sitting apatosaurs. Throw him down there with his friend. This Triceratops came with those bootleg Jurassic World Tyrannosaurs. I really like the colors on this guy, or I guess it's more of just a color and some shades of it. And the sculpt is kind of cool, very 90s-ish. Pretty decent material, but I really like this guy particularly. Also in that sort of, also in that tub, I guess he wants to stay around, were these two fellas. This is a Baryonyx, which sort of looks like the one from Fallen Kingdom, vaguely. And then here is a Dilophosaurus that is definitely not inspired by Jurassic Park / World whatsoever. But he's a very fearsome little fella. like his teeth and all that's going on over there. So yeah, these guys are menaces. But there's quite a few of these guys in here too. All three of them. Here's a little baby raptor. Oh, that's so cute. I don't know if this was the... No, this was not the dollar store like equivalent version of some of those others. This probably came with another set of pajamas or something. But I think I personally received this in a thrift store bag. These are some little stocking stuffers or whatnot that I believe I received. My brother and I received on Easter. And they're these squishy dinosaurs, and they're in this bag because they contain liquid, and if you squeeze them, their bones and blood gush out. I did not want all of this to accidentally burst and sort of flood the bottom of the dinosaur bin, so I put them in this bag as a safety precaution until they decide to burst. Oh. Here's a quote-unquote Dinosaurus. Definitely just a random alligator toy. But my brothers and I used to use this as Dinosaurus because it's pretty big in comparison to some of these dinosaurs. I mean, here's a Torosaurus from that Animal Planet dinosaur tub. Absolutely dwarfed. So we used to use it as the Dinosaurus, and it would kind of just terrorize the dinosaurs. Here's some cool dinosaurs that I really like. These were from a Walking with Dinosaurs or Discovery Kids, which is weird. I'm pretty sure the BBC. But these all, well, except this T-Rex, that is the Walking with Dinosaurs Ankylosaurus, and this is basically the Walking with Dinosaurs Baryonyx. But I remember getting these as a present. They're kind of cool looking, and you had these little scan codes here, and you use this little device, and you sort of scanned the dinosaurs, and the device would tell you facts about them, and you would sort of learn about sort of the statistics on the dinosaurs, which is kind of cool. Here's the Stegosaurus that came with it. So yeah, there's a few of these too. A lot of different lines and collections just in here. That my brothers and I have acquired over the years. I don't think any of them are actually complete, but I really like these ones a lot as well. Here's the Squeaker Stegosaurus. Here's a Squeaker Stegosaurus. I really like the blue and the purple, and the red's kind of cool too. But yes, he's squeaky as well, I believe. Yep. Oh, here's another one of the Stegosaurus for comparison. I believe this is a newer release of the Stegosaurus. Yeah, Nature World Bailey. But you can sort of get the idea there. This looks like I think I got this in a Facebook Marketplace deal that I acquired. It came, the reason I bought the dinosaur lot was because it had some Jurassic Park stuff in it, and there was a few dinosaurs in there that were just random whatnots, and this was one of them, and it's this cursed Stegosaurus. It looks like it's been absolutely scorched to death, and I think it's just humorous to me, just how ridiculous it looks. The sculpt detail is pretty fine and pretty good. It's made out of that's a dense plastic, but yeah, no, it's just really funny to me. It's just so horrendous. At least with this one, you could say it's a statue or something, but this one's just, I guess you could also say that, but this one actually is made out of a hard stony plastic. Well, this one's just a rubbery dense something. But yeah, I guess you'll go over there. Oh god, here's a bootleg Schleich Giga. Let's see if it still works. If that isn't annoying, I don't know what is. But that is Godzilla, emitting from its, I don't know what you want to call that, orifices, pore, but I think I got this in a Facebook Marketplace lot or thrift store or something, and it's just not that great. I like the colors. They tried to replicate the newer Slight Giga, but that's about all I can give it. I mean, it's like squished and morphed and bootleg as all heck. I've saw this in store many a times too, and it came with like a trailer and a vehicle and humans or whatever. Walmart Dinosaur set. But yeah, don't really have much to say else about this. Here's squishy Ceratosaurus, who has fist for some reason. Don't know what's going on there. But I really like the purple coloration on this guy. And just overall aesthetic of the Ceratosaurus. Very, very retrosaur. Here's the, I guess, redo of this Patasaurus from years later. And it's, I don't know what happened to that head, but it's just absolutely died. Don't know what happened to it. But it's obviously just a recreation. This is made out of like a nice rubbery, squishy plastic. This is some very like hardy, like cheapy, dense plastic that I feel like if you were to throw this at a wall, it would break, while this one would probably survive for 40 years. Here is some Camarasaurus that are called Styracosaurus for some reason. This is the original Chinosaur, and this is the squishy variant. This particular figure is really dense. This one particularly, but I really like the frill, and the colorations are obviously vastly different from each other, except for the eye coloration being, you know, reddish orange on both. But I really like these two fellas. I always made this one like the male, and this is the female. But yes, very extravagant and very creepy as well. But I really like their frill shape. It's just very iconic and nostalgic to me. Here is a giant frog. Oh my god, his mouth is morphed. Let's see if I can pop. Oh, he's permanently morphed. I don't know if I use this as Beelzebulba per se, but he's in here, and he's this is weird squishy rubbery material. Let's see. This is an actual popular company, 2001. I think I got this at a garage sale as well. But yes, he's just a giant frog. But I really like him. His paint's kind of chipping, however, unfortunately. Here's a very cursed shark. Maybe got this at like the dollar store, or like an aquarium of some kind. I know you can have them eat you, which I guess is kind of fun. But it's made out of this very cheapy whatnot. Of course, it's like entirely hollow because you can like shove a dinosaur or human or your finger in there. So it's kind of cool. But yeah, I just kind of used it as kind of like prey for the dinosaurs, I think. Here's a few skeletons that I got from this thrift store find. I don't know where these are from or what they are. There is no writing anywhere on these guys, as far as I can see, but they're kind of cool. I believe this is supposed to be a Pachyrhinosaurus. This is the infamous Tyrannosaurus, except it has no teeth. And then this is a Patasaur or Brontosaurus of some kind. Which I like these guys, though. I guess they're like nice little background fellas to have. I have no idea what this is, but this is a very old dinosaur figurine. I believe this was found in a Facebook Marketplace lot that I got. I don't know what company that is. If you can tell me what company that is with the crown and the J. I cannot read that. I can't even tell if that's a J. That might be just that, like, to say international. But it's like this. I don't know what species this is because it has 2 digits, like a Baryonyx Velociraptor head, and then like the upright tail. So it's just this big dinosaur. It's kind of cool. I like it though. Very strange, and the coloration's even weirder. Kind of reminds me of like a Mattel figure. It's just like, this is one part of the figurine. It looks like this nice aesthetic, and then you just get this black, which is just very, very like strange looking. It definitely stands out though. So I'll give him that. Here's a few randoms I can't really tell you much about except thrift store or Facebook Marketplace. Here's a Stegosaurus. This appears to be like a Platyosaurus or a Proceropod of some kind. This is probably in one of those dinosaur tubs. Here's another one of those Dilophosaurus. I think this one's a bit bigger, however, than the previous. Here's a Chatmay. I guess this is supposed to be Ornitholestes, or Ceratosaurus maybe. I want to hope this is Ornitholestes, or Proceratosaurus or something, but very gnarly looking fella. He came with the Brachiosaurus down there, so I really like this guy. The colors are nice, but he's definitely very aggressive looking. So this is the Animal Planet / Chatmay Ornitholestes, I guess. Hopefully it's not called Velociraptor, but speaking of, here is the Walmart tub, very Jurassic World inspired Velociraptor. There's quite a few of these guys in here too, but they're interesting. They're definitely strange. Here's a very retro, cheapy Heterosaurus. I'm just gonna call it that. I really like the blue and the gray, but it's definitely biped. It has some like weird theropod arms. It has like 3 digits for some reason. Yeah, it's very, very strange. Let me throw them down here at the feathered pteranodons. Here's a featherless pteranodon. This is very yellow. It looks a lot more horrendous on the camera, but definitely a strange pteranodon. 1997. Very retro 97 looking, with the pointed wings and the almost lack of pictofibers. Very bat-like. But it does have just the extended foref and then the hands there instead of, the typical depiction where it sort of has bat wings, so I'm happy about that. Here's a little Brontosaurus, I believe from the tub of dinosaurs. Here's a very heavy Brachiosaurus. I think this came with that quadrupedal Parasaurolophus we saw at the beginning. But he's very dense, so I'm gonna put him down a little easier. Here's Manny from Ice Age. I think this is specifically the Ice Age 3 Dawn of the Dinosaurs McDonald's toys. Here's the T-Rex from that particular toy line. I think I saw another one, yeah. There it is. We do have a few Rudies in here too. But very interesting like action features. It's angry and whatnot. But these are, pretty nostalgic to me and my brothers. Really didn't like play too much with these ones, but definitely like enjoyed them. And enjoyed having them. Here is like a pure 80s Brachiosaurus. That's also by the company with the crown that weird Baryonyx thing was from. This is just a pure 80s Brachiosaur. I love it. It's so goofy. I remember getting these from my mother. I think she found them at a thrift store. But she saw them and was like, "You better be careful of these ones." It's like, okay. Relatively recent, so not part of like my childhood, but there's an Apatosaur with this sort of aesthetic that I'll find in here. No idea what this thing is, but this was found at a thrift store too. My mother gave me a bag with, I think it came with like the Papo Rex and this fella and a few others, and I was like, this is just the weirdest stegosaur, one of the weirdest stegosaurs I've seen. Can't really say much about it, but it's got articulation and whatnot, so it's kind of cool. But the sculpt is really weird and just a strange stegosaur, and the plates are like peeling off or something, so that's not too good. But he's a strange one. Here's a quote Titanoboa, just a giant, I think it's just a python of some kind. This, if you place this in water, it grows massively. So it's made out of like this weird material, and it's like flaking apart, and I'm shocked it survived this long. This is, I believe one of my friends in like 3rd grade or something gave this to me, and still have it, but it's not doing too good. Its coloration is sort of worn away, so it's sad to see that. Here's a random tiger that my brothers and I had for a long time, literally just a tiger. That's all I can really say about it, but he's kind of cool. Whoa. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this guy. This is another Dimetrodon, thrift store acquisition. Ooh, god, ooh, that looks like black mold. That is black mold. I'm gonna clean this guy off. I think there might be some battery acid in here. Can't say I'm shocked, because this container just has a bunch of dinosaurs in it. Yeah, I'm gonna clean this guy off in a moment. Yeah, it's just a very cool looking retro Dimetrodon. Here's a Spinosaurus, I guess. Don't remember where this was from, but he's very, very cursed and red and just very odd. My brother won this fella at a local pizza place that closed. A lot of these are from that place, more than I thought anyways, but it's just a glow-in-the-dark T-Rex. Let's see. These hasn't been exposed to light for eons, so, but this was a little glowy T-Rex. I kind of like the sculpt. Obviously it's just, you know, one solid weird yellowish color. Almost looks lemonade urine like on the camera. We're just gonna go over there. Here we have T-Rex, I guess. I think this also came with pajamas. A lot of pajama dinosaurs. But I always made this a Carnotaurus because it just has the Carnotaur-like protrusions. This is a Triceratops that I won in 3rd grade from a lottery. T-Rex, it goes with it. I also won. So these two look good together because they were made for each other. There's also a Spinosaurus too, which is kind of weird. A very strange frill shape. It's a very strange retro Triceratops, but I really like this one. Very nostalgic to me, as most of these are. Ooh, here we go. Here are the two Tyrannosaura. They are part of that Discovery Walking with Dinosaurs thing. I don't know if it was actually Walking with Dinosaurs, but all the dinosaurs in this little line were basically from Walking with Dinosaurs, or looked inspired by. But yeah, there's two different ones here, then they have like slightly different colorations, which is kind of cool. They also remind me of like Jurassic Park builders, Brachiosaurus. So really like these fellas here. Oh, here's the Stegosaurus that went with that blue T-Rex monstrosity you saw earlier. This is my brother's Stegosaurus. We had quite the imagination. I will say that. Not sure how to feel about this one either. But the sculpt is pretty weird itself, so I guess it works. Here are two, oh my god, make that 3 Spinosaurus. Obviously 2 of these are from sort of, 2 of these are just the basic Chinosaurs, while this one is the squishy one, which is kind of nice. And of course, when we grab him, where did he go? The sort of remake. Here's the remake. Obviously a lot smaller, and almost looks like an entirely different species. Not really. There's some similarities, but yeah. So here's just a bunch of these guys. There's a bunch of them all over the place. Here's the third of this Stegosaur, of this sculpt. Here they all are together. They all look really different. They all look similar-ish, I guess. But I think my favorite's still this one. This one I got in the Animal Planet tub, and this one I think was just a thrift store acquisition. So it's kind of cool to have like 3 different Stegosaurus of the same sort of sculpt. And they're all very retro, sort of 90s, 80s like. So really like all of them together. God, even more retrosaur. Like 1930s Allosaurus over here. Found this at a thrift store and had to. I mean, it was just so ridiculously awesome. Yeah, this is Allosaurus according to its underside. Made in China. See that there. And then someone else's name, Nathan. I guess the previous owner. But no, this thing was just so cool to me. I was like, you know what, I gotta get this thing. And I think I tried to find it like on eBay, see if I can like maybe resell it or something. But I was just like, you know what, I can't find it, and this thing's cool, so I'm just gonna hang on to him. Here's another one of these Brachiosaurs. Many duplicates. Here's I think this is Allosaurus. Let's see. Yes, it says Allosaurus on this fella's tail. I don't know if you can read it. It's barely visible. But this definitely does not look like Allosaurus. I think I used to call it Herrerasaurus, because it looks more like Herrerasaurus in many aspects. Not only does it have, well, it has 5 digits actually, so I don't know. It's just monstrous dinosaur, different lizard. Another strange Allosaur in the collection of strange Allosaurs. Here's cheapy Patasaurus. Several different variants of the same sculpt. This one I received in a garage sale. This one I received at Target, and this one probably the thrift store. It's weird that I remember all of these specifically, but these were used as juveniles mainly. Gosh, here's a big one. Oh, here's this. Here's a weird Stegosaurus without phagomisers. Just doesn't have them. Came in the tub with the bootleg Jurassic T-Rex. But here is Bronte, I guess Brontosaurus, but it looks more like a Brachiosaurus based on this head shape. Let's see, Beanie Buddy. Let me see if I can find it. This is 1999. I don't know if you can read that. There you go. This is very old. I believe this belonged to my grandmother, and was given to me. But it says Bronte right there. I don't know if you can read that. But yes, very old. Still has the tag on it. Threads are sort of coming apart, but I love this guy. He was a nice little Brachiosaurus, and I liked sort of his flexibility since he's a plush. But yeah, I wasn't wrong about the title. There's probably over 200 different dinosaurs in here. Here is, I believe, another Camarasaurus. I believe this came in like a little tub or something along those lines. Here is a very retro, old school Brontosaurus. This might be from the 80s as well. Here we have another one of these Triceratops. I don't know why I have so many of these. I do not like them too well. Here is a Protoceratops. They came with the Walmart tub that I mentioned a few times. Here is a Carnotaurus that I got at a thrift store, and the leg was sort of torn, and then it fell off entirely. So I was very sad because this was like the only Carnotaurus my brother and I had for so long. But then we ended up finding others, but I really like this one, and the sculpt work is very nice too. Here is a few Pteranodons. This one is really weird. This I believe came with that T-Rex, with the very fat T-Rex. I believe this came with the Tyrannosaurus with the screw holes, but this thing is just a monster. I don't even know what this thing is. The wingspan is weird. Everything about this one is just weird. And its batteries are running low, but it did have a screeching mechanism, and of course the wings flap, and the eyes light up. And worse yet, it has a bunch of teeth, which is... this thing is just so weird. I don't even remember how I got this. This might have been in a Facebook Marketplace lot thing as well. A lot of these I don't even remember, because a lot of them I got from thrift stores or Facebook Marketplace or garage sales after I was a child, and just did not care for, of course, because I mainly purchased the set for one particular figure. But I digress. Now here's something cursed. Here is a Pteranodon that came with that Walmart tub with the bootleg Tyrannosaurus Jurassic World figure. But this is now a bootleg Jurassic World Pteranodon, or at least inspired by. Mattel hasn't made a Pteranodon with this sculpt yet, so it's weird. Bootleggers are kind of getting that sculpt idea, but it has teeth, which the Jurassic World one does not have. So this is rather cursed. But it's just a red and yellow, vaguely, on the beak. It's just really flimsy and not exactly the greatest plastic quality. That's kind of cool, I suppose, and could make for some nice repaint material. I might bring this up on the bootleg series if people still want more of that. Here is 80s purple Brontosaurus. Love this thing. It's sprawled out and it's just so retro looking. It's in all the right ways, and I love the colorations. They just take me back. By this week, this came with that Brachiosaurus that's down to the left over there. Here's another Retrosaur. This is Triceratops. Let's see what it says. 1998 for this Triceratops. And stranger, this gets, all the Triceratops, this gets stranger and stranger. This one's posture just doesn't even make sense. Its head is so huge, but I just absolutely love it. I think this Triceratops was acquired at like a thrift store or something. But he's just really weird. This is like one of the last figures I remember getting as a small wee child. I don't know what this Triceratops is from, but my mother and I found it at a thrift store, Goodwill, and it's just a very weird Triceratops, very cartoony too, but it's just really weird. Like, it's just a strange Triceratops. No neck. The head just transitions right into the body. It's very weird. But yeah, just a big alpha Triceratops. Here we have the Animal Planet's tub, Ankylosaurus. I guess this looks more like Ankylosaurus than some of the others that we've seen. Head might be a little big, and the club might be a little small. But I do like this guy quite a bit. And then this is the Triceratops that my brother got for Valentine's Day. This is probably my favorite Triceratops. Just very retro and large. I think, yeah, this one's 2000. This is the same sort of line that the Stegosaurus is from. So very cool. I like both of these. Here we have, I guess, a crocodile, little plushie. Let's see if there's any information on here. Wendy's International, it says Wendy's on here. So I guess this was offered at some point with some toys. There's like a hard something in here. I don't know what that is. But this came in a thrift store dinosaur box, and we just kind of used it as a Dinosuchus ever since. So he's kind of fun. And then with the Plesiosaurus I got at that local pizza place, my brother acquired this Carnotaurus, which was the first Carnotaurus that we acquired. But he's just really, really weird looking. Both sides of him are like slightly different colors. This one's very vibrant, and this one is rather dark, especially on that crest. But it's very, very retro. It's just like a little sail fin thing rather than like an actual head structure. But yeah, very, very, very strange. There's Edmontonia. It's a very small Triceratops of a very cursed head. And this little gal that I got at a thrift store, Spinosaurus. Don't know what this sculpt is from or what it is exactly, but all these Spinosaurs look rather weird. Really, obviously, retro. That head kind of reminds me of the Fallen Kingdom Baryonyx, though, so it's kind of cursed. But no, these guys are all pretty nice. Oh, I guess this one was 50 cents. This one I did not get in the Animal Planet tub. Yeah, there's your lovely stamp of approval. And this Triceratops came with a bootleg Pteranodon and Jurassic World T-Rex. Oh, these two go together. These are, I don't know what these are, but I think I got both. This one at Goodwill and this one in a Facebook Marketplace lot. These are these nice little retro Dilophosaurus and T-Rex statues. The Dilophosaurus is actually larger for some reason, so it's kind of cursed. But I really like the colors and sort of the aesthetic of these fellas. I just sort of really enjoy them, and they're sort of I really like the Dilophosaurus the most, I think. But yeah, these guys are rather large. Oh god, here's the most cursed dinosaur I think in the collection. This nightmare Stegosaurus. Oh lord, not only is it a solid color, it has a vast opening and can swallow figures whole, but it's a nightmare. Just, I don't even know what you would call this. This is not a Stegosaurus, but this thing is just so cursed, and I love it. I love all these like random cursed dinosaurs that are in here. I think this was also a thrift store something, but I was gonna get rid of it, but then I was like, what am I saying? This is like the greatest thing ever. It's just so cursed. A few more small dinosaurs in here. I'm gonna try and go through them a bit faster. Okay, so here we have the horse, just a stallion of some kind. Baryonyx. This is from Diego. This little small Spinosaurus. This was made by Mattel, weirdly. But we wouldn't get a, big Spinosaurus till way later. Proportions on this are even worse than Mattel could ever be, so yeah, don't complain about Mattel until you see that thing. Here's another Discovery Stego, and here's like I believe this is a Tujongosaurus, based on its sort of lack of plates. I really like the sculpt on this fella. Here is 3 Night of the Museum Tyrannosaurus. Believe this were McDonald's. Hold on. I don't know. I can't remember. I think obviously these are kids' meals, whatever's. I think these were McDonald's. But yeah, they're all very strange. And I believe if you wind up their tails, or sorry, no, they have a mechanism here, but they are very broken. Did not stand the test of time too well, but no, we had a lot of these, and I don't remember playing with them too much, but I would kind of use them as sort of background skeletons, of course. So those are always kind of cool. What is this? This is this little T-Rex chomper fella that I got. The handle kind of broke, but let's see if I can get it to work. There we go. He just chomps and his teeth are entirely red for some reason. But he's just really weird looking. Very cursed little chomping fella. Warning, choking hazard, small parts. I mean, I guess you can choke on this. 5 below. That's what this is from. Rather interesting. Wow, it has like all the information for like the factory, the date code. There was like all this information on here that like one probably shouldn't know or care to know. But you know, rather strange. I never noticed that before. Here's 2 dinosaurs that came in the Animal Planet tub. A very cursed Velociraptor and a very cursed Dilophosaurus, because they both do not have teeth at all, which is just horrendous. But I do like the colors on both of them. They both are pretty nostalgic to me. I really like this guy. I believe it's the same one, or same line that came with that Diplodocus and that Iguanodon that I showed very, very early on. But I believe there's quite a few of these guys in here too. Here's another one of these guys. I forgot that I got one of them at a thrift store. This one has better paint overall, so I think this is probably the one that I got at a thrift store and did not bash against 1,000 other figurines. Here we go through quite a few. Here's a half carnivorous Triceratops. Another no-phagomizer Stegosaurus. He just landed with his friend over there. It's very cheapy Parasaurolophus. I think there's like a few different ones in here. Yeah. As you can see, here's 2 orange ones. These ones I think I got way later on. And then these 2 were part of my childhood. They are all grinning, however, which is just a little weird. Kind of remind me of like, I don't even know. They're nightmarish. They're creepy. For no reason. Here's a pajamas Herrerasaurus. I'm just gonna call all the pajama dinosaurs that. And here's a wind-up Tyrannosaurus. This one actually still works. The sculpt on this one's a little weird, a little interesting, but obviously it's a wind-up toy, so I don't really expect too much. Here's another Discovery Ankylosaurus. Gosh, here is this. I believe this was at Menards. This very weird carnivorous Triceratops puppet. Looks excuse me, that is horrendous. I don't know what you would call this, but very, very cursed. You can go over there. Dinosaurs, these 2 I think are both from the same line. Basically you would put these in water and they would grow. Just some more growing dinosaurs. This was the Tyrannosaurus and this was the Parasaurolophus. Here is this is, I don't know, this guy got all the way to the bottom, but this is a very recent Walmart Therizinosaurus. Rather recent Therizinosaurus, with a nice little mechanism to him as well. That you had to sort of put them together, and he came in like a blind bag sort of ordeal. And then here's just a snake, just another snake, another creature that we would call a Titanoboa. Here is Pajamas Stegosaurus. He's rather fun. Here is bootleg of Pajama Stegosaurus that came in that Walmart tub. Here is 2 more very, very teethed Jurassic World Pteranodon creatures. Here's a cursed Triceratops that came with the same playset. And here's this very retro looking Iguanodon. I really like the sort of vibe this one has. I really like the colors as well, and the sort of wear and tear that's present on it, and definitely makes it more nostalgic. There's a few more ungodly creatures. Here's another one of these feathered pteranodons. Another blue Hadrosaurus. I believe these Hadrosaurs I acquired at the dentist office. Like, there was this treasure chest. A few more figures that sort of came with it. we're at the dentist office. There was just this treasure chest, and if you were, you know, good and you got through it, the cleaning or the cavities or whatever it was, you would go to the prize chest and sort of pick out your prize. And there's some ancient mammals and dinosaurs, all from the same sort of company. Always forget the name of this guy, as this is a Ultimiferium, I believe. Do not quote me. I'm horrible at Cenozoic creatures, and my Cenozoic knowledge is just horrendous. I definitely need to get into that. But yes, there's quite a few of each of those. Speaking of same sort of toy line, here is the holy mass that is all of the different, I guess, Tyrannosaurus or Allosaurus. Same company. This one is the odd one out, as it's entirely green, so this might actually be a bootleg or something. But here's, I think one of these is the original. This one that we got at a garage sale, and then the rest of these are just a bunch of different ones of different size and paintwork. This one has a deeper red for some reason. They're all just the same horrendous creature. I always made this prey for all the dinosaurs, and that red underneath sort of helped. Red on top for this one just sort of helped with that illusion for young me. But yeah, they can go. Yeah, here's another one of these Triceratops. I really like this guy. I really do. Here's, I believe this is also from Toys R Us and sort of the Animal Planet's dinosaurs. This is a Velociraptor, very Jurassic Park inspired, and has a very disproportionate head. Got this on Facebook Marketplace through a lot. Wasn't exactly trying to acquire this rubber dinosaur, but this was still a nice welcome addition. It's very massive. Here's a little squishy alligator guy. I do not even remember anything about this. This is probably a thrift store. Here's this glowing Stegosaurus, which I think, yes, it shares the same sculpt as this guy, which is just weird as heck to me. But this one here has a feature where if you slam him, he strobes and eventually increases in speed. But he's just kind of weird. I'm gonna get rid of him because he's sort of a epilepsy warning. Here's another Stegosaurus, which no phagomisers basically. That's sort of made out of like this weird rubbery material that's like flexible-ish, so you can kind of get in some poses. No idea what this is from. Let's see, 1992 Stegosaurus. That's what it says on the bottom side here. And then UKRD. So I have no idea what that is. But I kind of like him. He's sort of like this nice hunk of rubber. He's probably, yeah, he's pretty loud. Here's a finger puppet that my brother received. It's this little Apatosaurus. I think he got it at school. But yeah, it's a little cursed, but it definitely works as a nice little young Apatosaurus. Here is another one of these raptors. There's 4 of them total. So they kind of made like a nice little raptor squad almost. Here's another cursed Triceratops. Another Cenozoic mammal that I can't remember the name of. Here is 2 Rudies. I believe there's 3 of them total. But their action features sort of very stiff and, oh, that one just broke. Very stiff. Very stiff, and it used to be like that, of course. Yes, this sort of reminds me, I would always use these as Baryonyx, of course, because they are rather small in comparison to most of the other larger sized dinosaurs. But yeah, I really like the Rudy. Here's this Dimetrodon I remember getting at a garage sale, and then much later got this purple identical copy from a thrift store, and they're rather weird. I don't know what they're from or what they are, but I guess they're Dimetrodon. They're kind of remind me of like a pickle because they have all these bumps all over them for no reason. They're interesting. This is marketed as an iguana. This little lizard guy. He's pretty nice material actually. I really like this one. And then here is Rexy from this little Toy Story 3. And here is the Trixie that came with him. These two are just in here. There's other ones, but they're lost to time, I think. And the dinosaurs, of course, were of main interest to me, and to a lesser extent my brothers, so they're here. Don't remember playing with them too much. We're on to the last few. Here is a Triceratops. We got a Grotsail, part of the one of the lines that we've looked at a few of the dinosaurs for. Stegosaurus that if you put in water would grow. Sort of goes with those fellows over there. Another bootleg-ish Baryonyx from that Walmart tub. Another Thagomizer-less Stegosaur. Absolutely horrendous. Here's Don from Dinosaur Train, I believe. He's a Pteranodon with bat wings. He's the only survivor of the Dinosaur Train toys, I think. But he looks super derpy and super weird. And we have this very weird Stegosaur. I believe you're supposed to slide your finger into its bottom jaw, and you sort of pull back on him and release him. But he's rather hilarious looking. Here's one of my favorite Stegosaurs, not just because it's purple, but it's a very nice Stegosaurus that came with that Triceratops we just looked at not too long ago. And I just love the sort of posture of the Stegosaur. It's sort of, I wouldn't say scientifically accurate anymore, but definitely was for a time, and I like the tail length is extremely long. A lot of random garbage. We have these random Crayola dinosaurs that I think you would sort of make stencils out of. Or you had this magic pen and you would press on them and it would color them in, which is kind of cool, but obviously I don't think we have that anymore, and we just sort of have some of the dinosaurs, so maybe I'll use these for an art project or something. Speaking of art project, here is these very cute dinosaur ornaments. I don't know what they're doing in here, but you would sort of color on them with watercolor and sort of dye in the plastic. Looks like this Brontosaurus was not colored at all, but the Tyrannosaurus has some yellow and red on it still. But I really like them. Oh, geez. I really like them quite a bit. This used to be a tape measure, but it is a Brontosaurus. But all of its components were removed by probably yours truly a long time ago. And here's a Stegosaurus that was a pencil sharpener, but also had its components removed because it actually broke, unfortunately. I think both of them technically broke. But no, these guys have just been sitting in the dinosaur bin for decades, just not doing anything. This was the topper to my 8th birthday, the cake for my 8th birthday. This was a Tyrannosaurus. There is a Triceratops somewhere. It doesn't seem to be in here, however. But this guy was these guys were pretty cool. What you would do is you would take the dinosaur, and you can actually open it up and reveal the very not accurate skeleton. But I think it was this sort of a cool little, feature. And of course I've kept these guys. I'm pretty sure the Triceratops is downstairs somewhere, but I kept these guys because I thought they were just they're pretty decent, material too. And sort of would just play around with them. Here is a unopened Treasure X Dino Gold something. I think there's like sand in here. Oh, there you go. You would sort of free the dinosaur, and it's like this weird pirate dinosaur, which is kind of just bizarre. Just a random Walmart something. I guess I never opened it. I should probably do that mayhaps. Here is something I got at that local pizza place as well. This is a transformer in quotation marks. You can kind of see his head there, but he was just Grimlock kind of, and he sort of existed. He's sort of cool. His head broke off, unfortunately, but still have the head. Might try and put him together, but he's made out of like the cheapest plastic I ever felt. So I might not try and do anything with him. Last but not least, we have the Hot Wheels Pteranodon skeleton. My brothers and I have the Ankylosaurus and the, leave it. But anyways, the Pteranodon was a strange one. You would sort of like, how did this work? There's something you pull back on, and there was wings that were attached to this, which was weird. They were made out of like this weird paper and the plastic wrap, and they sort of tore off through the years. But basically, you would have your car run into this here, and it would cause something to happen up here, and sort of, it would kind of be like a domino effect, and you'd have everything sort of connected. I forgot how to load them. There we go. So I guess you pull down this red lever here, and if something slams into this lever up here goes down, and then something would happen. Oh, there you go. It's this stopper here sort of lets the car free, which is kind of cool for those who really like that domino effect sort of toy. But yeah, I think that is it for everything in the bin. There's a few other things. These were balloons, but they're a Stegosaurus and a Brachiosaurus respectively, but they have since acquired holes and they just sort of sit at the bottom. But yeah, that was definitely over 200 different dinosaurs. They're sort of just all over the place now. You know, just everywhere around me. There's me. Just insane. I really have, some of these I really have like a, you know, a lot of memories with. While others I just don't even remember like where they came from. But a lot of them are from like my childhood, and I remember just playing with them when I was a young wee lad, and they all sort of hold a special place in my heart. Some of them I definitely like don't really care for, I guess, because I just don't remember them. But there's definitely others that have been sort of a part of me for a long time, and yeah, I just sort of wanted to go through them again. It's kind of nostalgic. There is a few back here is a few more dinosaurs that have been sitting on the shelf for quite some time, that I don't have in the bin because these ones are a little more I guess collectors items, sort of have had for many years as well. But I can just sort of go through them a little bit. There's the Ankylosaurus there on the left. I believe it's the Safari Limited Triceratops. Then there's the Tyrannosaurus. There appears to be a dolphin figurine, a few other Schleich Triceratops figurines, Schleich Screen Raptor, Schleich Stingray. That Tyrannosaurus there with the red stripes is the Walking of Dinosaurs Tour Tyrannosaurus. There's Safari Limited Spinosaurus, Gryposaurus I found at a thrift store. I don't really remember what company it was, but the Spinosaurus and the Triceratops there from Safari Limited. I remember my grandma asking me on the phone, like, which dinosaur do you want? And I'm like, Spinosaurus? And then it showed up, and I was like, wow, okay, thank you. It was just kind of a strange moment. Over there is the Papo Green T-Rex. that I acquired at a thrift store in a bag with a bunch of other assorted dinosaurs, which was just super weird. There's Cerberus, the three-headed dog. The baby Safari Limited Triceratops. Random starfish that I got recently at a mall. I believe that's the Papodimetrodon or Schleichdimetrodon, sorry. Then we have another we have a Schleich T-Rex, a Schleich Therizinosaurus, the Schleich Spinosaurus, which is one of my favorite dinosaur toys that I've had as a child. I would always make it fight that Walking with Dinosaurs T-Rex over there. It was something I did a lot, thanks to Jurassic Park 3. There's the Schleich Raptor back there, the Terra Acrocanthosaurus, two different Schleich Allosaurs, which I think look really different from each other, but are still very nice. There's a Safari Limited Quetzalcoatlus, a Schleich Baby T-Rex, this orange raptor that I can't remember what it's from, but I know it had some like electronic features. This little BB raptor that I thought was really cute. Brachiosaurus that I forgot existed over here. The Schleich Dungliosteus, which is now inaccurate. And last but not least, we have the Schleich Apatosaurus. So yeah, these are like the collector's shelf items. I think that's going to end it for this video, except I do remember a thrift store acquisition I got. This cheapy Dinosaur, which if you recognize those plates, yes, this is Godzilla, but I remember getting this in a thrift store like lot of dinosaurs, and was like very confused what dinosaur this was, because I didn't know that this was indeed Godzilla. Thought this was just like some weird Spinosaurus. But then I eventually discovered Godzilla and was like, what in the world is this? Why? It's just like a weird bootleg Godzilla figure, but yeah, it's kind of weird, but I do like it quite a bit. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this very, very long video. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.